Good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, hasn't it? We just been so busy. I've had so much work commitment since the new year. It's just been bonkers. But anyway, we've got a little moment of stability now. I'm off to Wales tomorrow for only a couple of days and I'm back home for a bit before heading a long way south down to the Falklands. So I've got a home pass. It's a rare home pass. So I've come out this morning and I'm down on the rocks, local rocks close to me, and I've met up with one of my friends and a supporter of the channel, our good friend Vic. Hello Vic, good morning.
Hi guys.
Hi guys. Right, so I'm on the fly. I've got my 8-weight Salt Pro with me and I've got a depth charger line on it to get it right down to the bottom onto the kelp ledge. So the idea, I've got a clouser on, the plan is Pollock, but there's a bit more swell running than I was hoped, and we're just down a little bit early. The tide's just a bit high, so we're just going to fish this ledge for now. I'm going to be able to get a cast out there, that's not a problem, and then as the tide drops we can just move our way over the rocks that way a bit, where there's a bit more of a gully where we can fish for the wrasse, a few more pollock, and again there's gar, all your usual sort of rocky kelpy species. So we're going to give it a go. It might be a complete and utter waste of time, but it's not a waste of time. We're out in the fresh air, the sun's shining, a bit of crisp in the air, but it's not bad, you know. It's a Sunday morning and it's all right. Hey Vic,
It's not bad for this time of year.
it's not bad for this time of year, but there is a bite in the wind. It's certainly, I think the old beast from the east is starting to settle in. Anyway guys, thanks for joining us. I'm going to make a cast. Hopefully we'll get a fish in the net. Guys, tight lines, we'll see you in a bit. Bye. Some pretty good casting here actually, working along this ledge here. Tell you what, it's cold on the old mitts though. So yeah, I've cast it in. It's very similar to how we fished the blue hole in Cuba actually. Get the line in and then let this sinking line do its business along with the weighted clouser. So let that sink 5-10 seconds. So like I say, we've got quite a deep ledge there. You can see where the seam is here, and that's where the deeper water's stirring up against that ledge, against the shallower water, and obviously that brings in with it all sorts of feed stuff. And as you've seen in the past, particularly on metals, picked up all sorts here. Soft plastics for wrasse. We've had some decent pollock here historically. In bait fishing you get all sorts of husks, loads of dogfish, occasional codling, conger, yeah, all sorts. Of really productive mark, but it does get battered by the mackerel bashers, who unfortunately tend to leave their rubbish with them. There's a bit of rubbish down here now that Vic and I will have a pick up before we leave. Pick up other people's litter. Little float there guys, if you bring your rubbish down, take it home with you. Send it. So I've got my line tray on just to keep the line off the rocks. It's doing the job at the moment. Let's let that sink. Oh, I'll tell you what, the old mitts are cold. It's not the Caribbean, Vic, that's for sure. It's better than Shetland. Right guys, I'll come back to you in a minute if we get a flush. Tight lines. There we go folks, so I was just off over the rocks to do a recce, see if the tide's low enough for us to go over there, and in the meantime Vic's strung on some silvers, and do we need the net? He's got himself a fish. Let's just get the net. Hold on Vic, I'll go down here, look. Oh, he's got a nice string of mackerel. Net not required. There we go, guys. New Year mackerel. Bloody hell, you hit the school there, mate. Woohoo! Careful, Vic. Whoa, easy tide that. Look at that, fantastic stuff. Net not required. There we go, guys. 5 mackerel. Kaboom. Well done, mate.
That's lunch.
That's lunch. Here we go again, guys. So the school are definitely in. I've settled down on the fly rod just for a minute because this wind's really whipping up the side of this rock. And what I'm waiting for is the tide just to drop so I can get the other side of this ledge over here. There's a really nice safe platform to fish on. And there's a good head of fish down there. Well done, mate. Alright, I'm really sorry about the wind noise, guys. There is not an awful lot I can do about it. I've just had a cast. I caught a mackerel, caught the bottom, but managed to retrieve the rig. So I've handed the rod back to Vic, and he's just made a cast back out. But there's definitely a school out there. So we've got about, do you reckon, Vic, about 6 or 7 now?
7 in the bag.
There's 7 in the bag, and there's one in the rock pool down there somewhere. Right guys, we've just stopped. Vic's just tucking into one of my Cubans. There you go, Vic. Oh, zoom out. Nice fat Cuban cigar in the February Cornish sunshine. And we've been greeted with a pod of dolphins. Let's see if we can get them on camera. They're there. I don't know if you'll be able to make them out.
Common dolphins.
Common dolphins. Nice little pod coming through. That's where the mackerel will be. There we go, right in the middle of the screen. Happy days. They're coming in quite close actually, Vic.
Yeah, I have known them to come circle around the right. But we're keeping them out. There's about 7 or 8 there.
Yeah. Tight lines, guys, tight lines. Tight lines, Vic.